Do the Browns have a chance to win a playoff game with Joe Flacco as the quarterback?
See, I'm going to tie this to my first note I have for this game here. Because I'm going to believe, honestly, no. Because I do feel like, and it hurts me to say this, because they've been one of my narrative teams. But it does kind of feel like the Brown season started to slip away. Because this was all, again, like when you have a team built like the Browns, and then you have our guy, but not only is he our guy, he's our most expensive guy in league history. When he goes down, there's got to be an inevitable like rift in that locker room.
Yeah.
Like, damn, 50% of the salary is sitting on the couch the rest of the year. Like, if only we could pick up, it's kind of like, there's got to be an inevitable, like, it's so hard to bounce back from that psychologically. And yes, you could be a rah-rah guy and tell me, we don't quit. Yeah. Okay, I get it. I'm all with that type of mentality. I'm all with that type of thinking too. But I'm also very realistic. And very realistically, it's got to be very hard to bounce back from that and still be that same team, which is showing you kind of can't. When that much of the cap's taken up by one guy, it's really tough.
Well, it's also like at the end of the day, he already missed 8 games last year. So it's like you keep like putting stuff on hold for him. And it's like Jacoby Brissett played better with the team than anybody has played. Like Deshaun, all the backups, any of that. And it's like,
why is Josh Dobbs not there? Like you could ask, like you could ask so many questions about the Browns, to be honest. That's where
like what the fuck was happening with Elijah Moore this week? Like,
so the Browns receivers, I know that's the biggest narrative that I know about the Browns right now is that that I hear is that they have, I mean, they're the fans, I'm saying from the fan base, they like don't like the receiving core in the slightest.
I mean,
like
they have
minus Amari, even with Amari, they all have drop issues. They all are like consistently inconsistent.
It's very lame. Like think about it. Like Elijah Moore had 4 catches on 12 targets.
Like he's literally catching the ball 33% of the time.
25.
Wait, no, how was it? You said it was 3
4,
on
8. No, it is 33. Oh, that's me.
I was like, wait a minute. I was like, hold on a minute, bro.
That's even worse because I thought I had it. That's worse. That's worse. That's worse.
I was like, wait, I had to make sure I heard the numbers correctly.
I like Njoku, but in reality, he's not moving the needle.
No, it's the thing is where he's definitely a productive tight end, but for the way that the Browns are, especially with how run dominant they are, I agree. It's kind of like maybe get a guy who's a little more of a blocker on top of, because I think that combination of that 1-2 punch of Njoku and an X tight end, if you get, I guess, somebody who's a little bit better of a blocker to throw in there, I think that's definitely something the Browns are going to be targeting this offseason. But that's not like the fix all. Like the reality of the situation is Deshaun just has to be out there.
Yeah.
Like that's what's going to fix this team at the end of the day. And it's like, if that can't be the reality, this will keep being the Browns' reality. It's like what could have been.
But in reality, how long do the Browns have to do it? Like next year and the year after? Like that's it?
No, that's what.
If like, that.
That's why this sucks so much. That's why I say it hurts me to say, because as you know, I think everybody who's not like a hater, if you're not a Browns hater, you would not mind seeing them have some success. They've been so bad for so long.
Yeah,
where it's like it hurts to see that fan base have to go through this again.
Well, it's kind of like the Jets. It's just like, oh shit, the plan.
At least they got the Joe Namath moment.
Yeah,
but yeah, like who was alive? Not who was, but most people that are Jets fans nowadays, like, it's not the same. So like, it is the same. Like,
I just look at it like both these teams went in without a backup plan.
Oh, I mean, you're saying in the immediate now. Like,
oh yeah,
like
and it railed them. It railed them.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, the Browns defense too is just. I mean, they gave up 36 to the Rams.
Yeah, like that was my main thing about this. That's why I wanted to say that I feel like the season is slipping. Because like we were saying, and this is not even, I don't think, a quiet quit thing. I think with the Browns, it's genuinely different, where it's like when your offense only very often getting the ball they 3 and out like half the game. I'll tell you as a Saints fan, it's like no matter how good the defense is playing, at that point it doesn't matter. Because the time of possession difference, it's just, you're going to get 30 plus scored on you. Like when you can't possess the ball, it doesn't matter how good you're playing. You're going to have a few explosive plays on you. If you're giving the other opponent, hold on. So if you're giving the opposing team like 70, 80 plays a game, you're going to get cooked. It is what it is.
And Cooper Kupp is mid now.
Oh, and it's like, that's just, and then time out, because Rams fans, they're going to feel differently than we would feel. But I just want to point this out because it was something we were saying. Where it's like, if the Rams, because the Rams are, okay, I get it. They're getting back into like low-key playoff position. All right. But if they traded him away prior to that deadline, that compensation I feel like would have been way better than anything. You're not getting anything now. and he's getting older.
No.
But if you're a Rams fan, you would have never wanted to trade him away because you love him. I get it. The Rams fans are always going to have a different love and connection with that man. But I'm just saying from the non-biased, bipartisan point of view, I think that our narrative still has some weight.
Yeah,
was trading him the move?
I think it probably was because, no, don't get me wrong, Cooper Kupp as your wide receiver 2 sounds very enticing, but it just is not working right now with like Puka in that role. And I think also when the Rams had like Todd Gurley, they were dominant. You're starting to see Kyren Williams really become that guy.
No, out of nowhere, too, might have had. Like, Kyren Williams, I don't even bring up fantasy much ever on this podcast. But real quick, like, Kyren Williams has got to be one of the PPR studs this year when he's playing. I know he's been out there the whole season. But, like, week-to-week basis for his volume when he's out there, I mean, Kyren Williams has got to be one of the PPR kings this year.
Oh, yeah. He's going crazy. He's got 22 receptions, 190 yards, 3 touchdowns in the air, 687 yards on the ground, 5.1 yards per carry, and 7 touchdowns. The Rams have some stars on offense.
No, and then also I wanted to say, I had to talk about Kobe Turner because he's one of these guys that's like really, none of the mainstream has picked up on him yet. We've been talking about him since like week 2 or 3 at this point. But Kobe Turner, man, like 3.5 sacks over the last 2 games. That Aaron Donald mentorship, like, clearly is holding a lot of weight. If you're a Rams fan, like, you got to be saying to yourself, like, man, are we getting ourselves the next pass rushing beast on the interior here?
Well, they also have what's his name, Akeel Witherspoon.
The corner.
Yeah.
Kello.
Akello Witherspoon.
He has like an interesting name. I might even be mispronouncing.
Hold on, I'm gonna find it. But anyway, yeah, it's just like they built all this without first round picks. So
that's back to the coaching thing. Back to my coaching means everything.
Akello Witherspoon.
Sean McVay is definitely the orchestrating piece though of this whole team.
So
coaching matters. Go figure.
Let me ask you this. Because the Rams, I mean, we'll move on to the next game unless you have anything else you want to say. The Rams have been known to say fuck those picks.
And you know what?
Do they go get a quarterback after this or next year? I mean, I don't know. I mean, they have to keep Stafford, but
that's the thing is once you ride out Stafford, I think I'm sure that their game plan, as long as they can keep McVay in the building. Oh, I'm sure they're drafting another guy. Absolutely not. Because at this point, because I think about it, Sean McVay's already halfway in, half out the door.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if you don't keep a fully potentially competitive roster, where it's like if they didn't have Stafford, I'm sure that he doesn't even view this as a competitive roster right now. Like if they didn't retain Stafford, I'm sure that McVay was out the door, right? So it's like if you don't keep him a guy that he thinks he can go win a Lombardi with, I think he's going to say especially for the immediate future, and I wouldn't blame him. Like there's probably a lot of things that go through Sean McVay's head. And hear me out. This is a thing where if you're a Rams fan, you're not going to want to hear this. But again, I always speak the honest truth, what I feel like. Where if you're Sean McVay, maybe you're saying to yourself, I coach a team that literally never can have a home fan base. Like we literally are.
That's very annoying.
It's probably like just maybe if I could get to a new environment as I get older, maybe that sounds enticing.
Bro,
and I'm not saying that I'm for sure right. He could maybe he might love that organization, might love being there. He might love wanting to stay in LA forever. I could be totally wrong. I just speak my mind. That's just something I've been potentially pondering, especially where I know maybe knowing his foot's at halfway out. Could that play a factor in it? You know what I mean?
I don't think he's going to leave until Stafford's gone.
No, right.
Or AD. I mean, like, imagine him with the Chargers.
Like, that's the same location, but at least, like, it's something enticing. I just feel like if you're Sean McVay right now, you're probably saying to yourself, man, I've really built, like, everything over this team for the last, like, decade, and now it's kind of like, if we're going to scrap everything out, I don't have even time for that right now because I have so many other opportunities. He could go make $50 million doing broadcasting in the meantime. It's like if you're Sean McVay, you have everything on the table for you. Maybe it's like he's just not going to rush to the next decision, but I'm sure he's got the idea that, like, exactly, once Stafford's out the door, if they can't retain a competitive team, probably not going to see him on that team again.